Wait, you accept it?
Yeah.
Wait, and you understand like what that commits you to, right?
Maybe, but like I'm not too interested in talking about causal closure. I'm more
Oh
interested
wait,
in
wait,
talking about the argument
why?
that I.
Because I can run the same argument and then run like you're familiar with like psychophysical harmony?
Oh yeah, I'm happy
I
to.
can just run like
Yeah, yeah. Am I familiar? Look, I'm happy to chat with you if you think that. Okay,
I
I'm
can
not.
just do the same thing. I can just
Yeah.
like run
Okay. Wait, that's
psychophysical.
fine. Okay, that's fine. I can give you my sort of responses.
Okay, go ahead. Wait. So can I run my argument
Well,
against
I'm familiar. Yeah, I'm familiar with the argument. I
you
mean,
wait, you've heard
okay.
my argument?
Well, I'm familiar with the argument
Has it
from
circulated
psychophysical
already?
harmony.
Huh?
So, I mean, is it just a sort of cutter and crumb it argument, or is there some other feature?
I mean I can give it to you if you
No, I mean,
want to hear it.
I
You
mean, yeah,
just
you can give it if you want.
asking him and just present it already
Yeah.
because you're going back and
Wait,
forth.
who's speaking? Who's speaking?
It doesn't
Why are you
matter.
so
Just
triggered?
present your argument. Just present your
Yeah,
argument.
so
Hey,
the
bro, he being
argument
triggered the whole
is
live, bro.
Just present it.
One
whoa.
at a time, please. One
Yeah, so the argument is going to be the principle of causal closure if the physical is true. You accept that? Correct? That's the
Yeah.
assumption? Okay, cool. Premise one, the principle of causal closure for the physical is true. Premise two, if the principle of causal closure of the physical is true, then every cause or effect of it of a physical event is a physical event. Like our cause or effect of a physical event is a physical event. You accept that or no?
Yeah. Isn't that just entailed by P1?
Yeah. Okay. Premise three, mental properties and states are not identical with physical properties and states. You accept that?
When you say they're okay, are you just saying type A physicalism
It's
is
an
false?
assumption. It's an assumption of the view.
I mean, what if I just reject that? Like, it seems like type A
Did
physicalism
you
could be
reject
true.
physicalism? Congratulations.
Wait, how does that reject
Wait, you
physicalism?
mental properties and states are not identical with physical properties and states.
Yeah, the type A physicalist disagrees with that.
Oh, you said you disagree with what?
Disagrees with the fact that there's some sort of epistemic gap or
Oh,
an
so you believe in
ontological
like
gap.
identity theory?
Yeah, that's what the type A physicalist thinks.
Okay, so can I wait? Can I finish the argument? Because it's gonna be
Yeah, sure.
cool. Because the part of the argument is gonna be for like identity theory. Because I addressed that as well.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So premise three, mental properties and states are not identical with. It's just going to be the assumption, and then I'll address your identity theory. If mental properties and states are not identical with physical properties and states, and the principle of causal closure of the physical is true, then mental properties and states are not physical. Do you accept that or no?
But I thought you said you were going to finish your argument.
Yeah, there's a conditional. Do you accept the conditional? Because then there's going to be a conjunction from 1 and 3, and then 4 from modus ponens.
Wait, just okay. Look, just give the full argument,
Yo,
and then I'll
just
tell you where I
accept.
disagree.
Oh my gosh, do you accept the conditional?
Yeah, wait, just repeat the conditional again.
I said, if mental properties and states are not identical with physical properties and states, and the principle of causal closure of the physical is true, then mental properties and states are not physical. That's just the conditional.
Yeah,
so
sure.
that's going to follow from 1 and 3. You don't even need to accept. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know why it's like pulling teeth. Cool. Premise 6, modus ponens from 1 and 2. Every cause or effect of a physical event is physical events. That's just modus ponens. Premise 7, if mental properties and states are non-physical and every cause or effect of the physical event is physical, then mental properties and states make no distinctive causal contribution to the physical domain. Do you accept that or no?
Okay, stop. Either ask me which premise I disagree with.
A lot of these just follow from modus ponens.
Stop. Look. Either deliver your argument all at once. Like you delivered.
You through the argument.
Look, calm down. Look, I'm well aware. I'm well aware.
Like he's trying to trip you up.
Bro,
I'm well aware of
walking
the argument
you through the
Look, I'm well aware of the argument from psychophysical harmony. Just give all of your premises.
I'm just giving you the argument. Do you accept the argument? Do you accept the premise?
Just stop. I was objecting to one of the premises that you gave, and then you cut me off from my objection to say, let me finish the argument. Then you started giving me premises, and then you asked me what if I agree with each premise or not. So either just give the entire argument, and then we'll talk about what my issues with the argument are, or give me, a premise and ask me if I agree or disagree with it. Don't do both.
Sure. I'll give you the full argument. Premise 1, the principle. We can. You want to just continue with P6, so we don't have to go through step by step. We are on P7 or P6.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Modus bonus from 1 and 2. Every cause or effect of a physical event is a physical event. Conditional if mental properties. P7 is conditional if mental properties and states are non-physical, and every cause or effect of the physical event is physical. The mental properties and states make no distinctive causal contribution to the physical domain. Conjunction from 5 and 6. Modus bonus from 7. Mental properties and state makes no distinctive causal contribution to the physical domain. Premise 9. Conditional if mental properties and states make no distinctive causal contribution to the physical domain. The mental properties and states are epiphenomenal. Premise 10. Modus bonus from 8 and 9. Mental properties and states are epiphenomenal. And then premise 11. If mental properties and states are epiphenomenal, then mental states cannot be causally responsible for knowledge of their own occurrence. And then 12 is going to be modus bonus from 10 and 11. Mental states cannot be causally responsible for knowledge of their own occurrence. Conditional from premise 13. If mental states cannot be causally responsible for their knowledge of their own occurrence, then epiphenomenalism cannot be known or scientifically confirmed. And then obviously modus bonus from 12 and 13. Epiphenomenalism cannot be known or scientifically confirmed. Premise 15. If a theory cannot be known or scientifically confirmed, then it's explanatorily defective. Conditional. Premise 16, epiphenomenalism is explanatorily defective from 14 and 15. Premise 17, if the conjunction of the principle of causal closure of the physical and non-identity of the mental with the physical is true, then epiphenomenalism is explanatorily defective from 1 through 16, conditional proof. And then premise 18, if a theory is explanatorily defective, then it should be rejected. And conclusion, which is obviously going to be hypothetical syllogism from 17 and 18. If the conjunction of the principle, if the conjunction of the principle causal closure of the physical and non-identity of the mental with the physical is true, then the conjunction should be rejected. So which premise do you reject?
Look, I can just give a sort of Murian argument against epiphenomenalism. Like, what? Dude, you realize the fucking 25 premises that you gave.
Which premise do you reject?
I literally forgot half of them because there's 20 fucking premises, but I just reject epiphenomenalism. So, yeah.
Okay, do you have a reason to?
Yeah, because if epiphenomenalism was true, then there seems to be no evolutionary explanation towards why,
No, I'm saying for the reason of the rejecting the premise, because epiphenomenalism is argued that follows.
Look, physicalism. I'm just giving a sort of Murian
epiphenomenalism.
Physicalism doesn't. Okay, the two issues here is either I can just adopt some sort of dualistic fill of mind, which is rejects causal closure, in which case epiphenomenalism is false.
Then you'll be conceding to dualism. That's more on my point.
Okay, or
cool. No. Do it.
Wait. Okay, so the entire argument was for epiphenomenalism?
No, the argument is arguing against physicalism, genius. And also, please do the dualism thing because I'm a dualist. Now you're just going to be. Now I have more credence, and we have. He didn't understand that the argument was against physicalism. That's wild.
Yeah, because there were 20 premises. Look, the first issue is epiphenomenal. Okay, the argument was for epiphenomenalism, in which case I just...
No, the argument is that physicalism entails epiphenomenalism, if and only if physicalism is understood as causal closure plus, hold on, causal closure of the physical plus non-identity of the mental with the physical.
Yeah, so what happens if you're an identity theorist? Then what happens?
You said what?
What happens if you adopt type A?
If you're an identity theorist?
Yeah, what's the argument against type A physicalism?
Yeah, did you not hear the last premise?
You just said if type A is false. Like
did you hear the last premise?
What was the last premise? I probably started zoning out on 17.
Did you hear or no?
No. You gave me 20 fucking premises, and you expect me to remember all of them? What the hell?
So you didn't hear the last part about addressing type A identity theory?
Yeah, just tell me what
your issue no explanatory gap between mental and the physical, such
that's begging the question against type A. Hello?
Yeah, that is talking about type A.
That's begging the question against type A. What?
Yo.
Wait, this is like if you and I are debating epiphenomenalism, and my argument against epiphenomenal is, the causal closure principle is false, and or the mental states are identical to physical states.
No,
then obviously
type
that's begging the question.
Are committed to phenomenal consciousness is nothing over and above physical states, which means that there is no And I'll explain what I mean by that. There is no like what it is like.
Yeah, look, I'm aware of this. I'm just asking.
Then you accept the premise.
That's not true. Wait, I did not accept the premise.
Yes, you
I'm
do.
Just
so
asking.
There is
what's
no
the argument for
gap?
What's the argument for the lack of an epistemic
that means
gap?
You accept that there is no explanatory gap.
Wait, how do I accept that if I didn't accept the premise? Hello?
Yo, you're literally not tracking. That's wild.
Wait, okay. What's the argument for an epistemic gap?
I've already explained that to you.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Okay, what's the argument? Just reiterate.
Oh my gosh. You want me to run the whole argument again?
Wait,
the argument that you missed?
You think that the entire 20 premises proved that there wasn't some sort of epistemic gap?
I'm going to wait for you to finish.
Look, I'm well aware of what type
says
A
that the appearance of an explanatory gap between physical states and mental states, that is illusory. It's not like a real fact.
I understand. I'm asking what's the argument against the epistemic gap?
You said what?
The argument for an epistemic gap.
I've given that was part of the argument.
Oh my God.
Yo, he literally missed the entire argument.
Yes, bro, because the argument was 27 premises. And also, that was nowhere in the argument.
Yes, it was.
Okay, look. I just for the sake of my own sanity, I'll just grant dualism, and I just want to hear.
Oh, wow. So you wait, really quickly. So you're conceding to the argument.
Yes, because you gave me 20 premises, and you will keep cutting me off and keep reiterating that you don't have some sort of point. So
you said what?
I'm confident in my ability to just nullify the argument from psychophysical harmony that I'm willing to grant you any fill of mind that you want. So I'll just go ahead and grant you dualism.
Then, wait. If you're willing to grant any fill of mind that I want, then GG.
Wait, how do you think that you still have to deliver an argument that dualism leads to psychophysical harmony, which is more expected under the theistic paradigm?
Dualism leads to psychophysical harmony. Do you know what psychophysical harmony is? Hello?
Yes, I'm well aware of
Okay, define psychophysical harmony.
Psychophysical harmony is the seeming and apparent harmony between certain physical states and phenomenal states. Some cases might be things like hedonic harmony, where cases like, pain, the phenomenal state of pain leads to avoidance behavior. Cases like, this is going to be under the branch of normative harmony. Then there's also semantic harmony.
You said dualism causes that?
No, I'm saying dualism. Okay.
Maybe that was a blunder in your terminology.
I'm just saying I'm happy to grant you that dualism is true, right? I'm just asking.
Okay, so maybe that was a blunder when you said that it causes that. Maybe you meant that it can give an explanation. That we can have some.
I'm genuinely in some sort of fever dream right now.
Okay, I'm just saying, you're saying that.
Just tell me why psychophysical harmony provides evidence for theism.
Okay, cool. So you know what normative harmony is, right?
Yeah, like and hear the live, please.
Okay, you understand that normative harmony in every case where we have psychophysical laws, they correlate to physical functional states such that there's going to be a distinct consciousness, conscious experience in these whose essential normative role would provide reasons.
I said I understand normative harmony. I literally accepted this. I don't know why you have to.
I'm just making sure that you understand.
I literally told you what normative harmony was, and I gave you both examples.
No. You explained psychophysical harmony. I'm making sure that you understand.
Oh my God! Yes, I understand that there's going to be hedonic harmony, and then there's also a different branch of harmony apart from normative harmony called semantic harmony. I'm well aware with the argument. I'm just asking you. Tell me why you think psychophysical harmony is more expected under some sort of design hypothesis than the non-design hypothesis.
Cool. Yeah. So the reason why you said what? What was the last part?
I was thanking all my, hopefully fans in the chat for the gifts. Thank you, guys.
Oh yeah. So I'll go back to the original statement. So psychophysical harmony, the reason why is much more likely on theism, on certain theisms, prior to like standard naturalistic atheism, because the prior probability of theism and a fortiori, the disjunction of theism with some other like adjacent views, we could say that our we could say that given the vast majority of psychophysical mappings, it would be disharmonious, especially if the individually most like intrinsically provable mappings are disharmonious. Thus, the epistemic probability of harmony given atheism would be extremely low. And on the other hand, the reason for the reason for theism would be unless the prior probability of theism is fantastically low, the posterior probability of theism will be reasonably high when we conditionalize on psychophysical harmony.
Okay. First off, thank you for the galaxy right here, right now. You're my goat. Okay. So it looks like we're back to square one.
Address what I said.
Yeah, I can thank people for my gifts. Okay. The first sort of point is theism is going to be some sort of bare design hypothesis with additional commitment. So the priors on that will be lower. So I can just use some sort of
already granted that. Like address what I said.
Why are you cutting me off? Why are you cutting me off?
No, I said I've already addressed that. Just address what I said. That's all I said.
Did I cut you off when you were speaking?
No, all I'm saying is focus. No, I didn't. I'm saying is focus on what I said.
Okay. The prior probability of bare design and bare non-design are roughly equal. The posterior probability of bare design conditional on psychophysical harmony is no greater than the posterior probability of bare non-design conditional on psychophysical harmony. Any more substantive design hypothesis? 1 second. Can I get through my argument? Hello? Any more
wait, that's not an argument.
What's not an argument?
Wait, your last claim wasn't an argument.
No, I'm delivering an argument right now. That's why I'm giving you premises. Why do you think I'm giving you premises? Do you think I'm just saying random premises? Why do you think I'm saying premises right now? Why do you think I'm saying premise one, premise two?
What premises have you delivered?
Yeah, the first premise was that the prior probability of bare design and bare non-design are roughly equal. Do you not take that to be a premise?
You said that you didn't say that was a premise, but go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Wait, so you think, I'm sorry, do you lack the sort of, social awareness?
No, just go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Okay. Look, I'm not going to get bogged down by the irrelevant meta point of you saying that that's not a premise.
Go ahead.
That has nothing to do.
Go ahead. Continue.
Look, just maybe, be quiet and let me sort of give my argument as I've afforded you the courtesy to do, right? Look, chuckling villainously in the back is not good optics for you. Okay,
go ahead.
The prior probability of bare design and bare non-design are roughly equal. The posterior of bare design conditional on psychophysical harmony is no greater than the posterior of bare non-design conditional on psychophysical harmony.
Those are two separate premises, right?
Yeah, obviously those are two separate premises.
Wait. Can you give me motivation for the first premise?
Why are you cutting me off? Why are you cutting me off?
Wait.
Why are you cutting me off? Why are you cutting me off? Why are you cutting me off?
I'm answering
the question.
Yes.
Okay.
I want motivation for the first premise.
Okay, do you not have the social decency to let me finish my argument? I let you finish 27 premises. I let you finish 27 premises without interrupting you.
Okay, can you give me? I'll go on mute, bro. I got you. I'm gonna go on mute. Can you give me motivation for the first premise? Go ahead.
Look, I'll give you motivation for the first premise after I get through my argument because I want to get through my argument. Hello? Are you not going to sort of engage with that?
Yes, I'm here. Can you give me motivation for the first premise?
I said I'm going to give you motivation for the first premise after I deliver my argument.
So why'd you ask the question? Just go. I'm literally going on mute. You got this. Rooting for you. Go ahead.
Okay. Premise one. The prior probability of bare design is not greater than
motivation for that premise, by the way.
Oh my God. This guy genuinely lacks social awareness. I'm going to give my full argument. Then after I complete my full argument, I'm going to give motivation for premise one. Okay. Hopefully he doesn't interrupt me this time. The prior probability of bare design is not greater than the prior probability of bare non-design. The probability of psychophysical harmony conditional on bare non-design is not greater than the probability of psychophysical harmony conditional on bare, whichever the other one was. Bare design is not greater than bare non-design. Any more substantive design hypothesis is not more probable than bare design when both are conditioned on the data that psychophysical harmony exists. Bare design is not more probable than bare non-design when both are conditioned on the data that psychophysical harmony exists. Any more substantive design hypothesis is not more probable than bare non-design when both are conditioned on the data that that psychophysical harmony exists. Psychophysical harmony exists, hence our posterior of bare design or any more substantive design hypothesis is not greater than our posterior on the bare non-design hypothesis. Now, the motivation for premise one is I'm an objective Bayesian, and the only sort of principle that I use is going to be the principle of indifference when setting priors.
Yo, wait. No way you're appealing to the principle of indifference. Yo, there is no way. Wait, what is the motivation? There is no way your motivation for P1 is Bayesianism.
Wait, sorry. Do you not think that objective Bayesianism is true?
Yo, What is the motivation for P1, bro?
Yeah, I just told
Somebody
you the motivation
please
for
clip this.
P1.
Wait, so your motivation for P1 is
P1 is.
I just want to be. Wait. Just to be clear. Your motivation for P1 is what?
Yeah, when setting priors, I first look at, the sort of constraints that I use. Since I'm an objective Bayesian, the sort of constraints that I have are going to be the Kolmogorov axioms and Bayesian's
I understand
rule
how
for
Bayesianism
updating on
works.
data.
I said the motivation for P1.
Calm down. Look, I'm giving you the motivation for P1. It's really hard for me to do that
have to,
when this annoying
your
ass voice
motivation
keeps
for
piping up
P1
in the
is
middle.
an explanation of Bayesianism?
Yes, it's an explanation. What do you think Bayesianism is?
Oh my
What do you think
gosh.
Bayesianism is?
Oh
What do you
my
think
gosh.
objective Bayesianism
I said the
tries to do?
motivation for
What do you
P1.
think-
You're using
what do you think-
Bayesianism
Yes,
to justify
obviously I'm
P1. I said the. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
You're
God.
using
What do you think-
Bayesianism to justify
why do
P1.
you
I
think-
said the motivation for
what do you
P1.
think what do you think the disagreement between the objective and subjective
Oh my
Bayesian
gosh.
is?
What
do you
is the
think that's on?
motivation for
The entire
P1?
point of objective Bayesianism
Oh my gosh,
versus
what is the
subjective
motivation?
Bayesianism is to
I
determine
think we've
how we set the
hit
proper
a brick
priors.
wall. I think
right?
we've hit a brick wall.
Yes, we have hit a brick wall.
Okay,
We've hit
so
a brick
what-
wall with you
So
because you
what
don't
is the
understand
motivation
this.
for P1?
Yeah, the motivation for P1 is that when setting priors, I'm an objective Bayesian who uses the principle of indifference in conjunction
So
with the
setting
remaining
priors
things.
in the principle of a difference is your motivation for, say that a proposition again?
I didn't say a proposition.
Oh, the premise is not a proposition?
No, the premise. Oh my God! What? Okay. What do you want?
You're not even
What do you want?
tracking. Keep
No,
up.
because-
So the premise
Oh my God!
that you said,
This guy.
yo, what do you mean this guy? That's you.
You cut me off at every single turn.
Okay,
Then you tell me that I'm
premise
not tracking
one.
after using ambiguous
Okay,
pronouns.
Okay.
Right?
Premise one. What is the state premise one again? Go ahead.
Yeah, the prior probability of bare non-design is not greater than the prior probability.
Okay, so what
of
is the
bare
motivation behind? What is the motivation behind the
principle-
premise?
Yeah, when setting priors.
You're just explaining Bayesianism.
Yes, because
I said,
that's
what is the
why- okay,
motivation?
why do you think? Look. Let's maybe
Oh
slow it down.
my
Why do you think
God.
I'm bringing up? Why do you think I'm bringing up the fact that I'm an objective?
You're just
Bayesian?
explaining Bayesian. I don't know
No,
why. That's the
Okay,
point.
so
I don't
maybe,
know why
so maybe
you're
let
doing
me
that.
speak. Maybe let me speak, and I'll elucidate it for you. Because it seems that
Holy.
you're not. Look, it seems that you're not, familiar with the epistemological environment that we're currently in.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
We're dealing
Stop
with
the
a Bayesian
meta.
epistemology.
Stop it.
Wait,
You're
how is
killing
this
me.
meta? How is
Stop.
this meta? I'm explaining
Stop.
why
Don't do
I'm
that.
bringing these facts up.
You're killing me with the meta. Okay, what is the
How is
motivation
that
behind
meta?
P1?
Okay. When we are setting priors, we use either a subjective or objective
I
Bayesian
know
framework.
how Bayesianism
Let me
works.
speak.
Why
Let
are
me
you
speak.
yapping
Let
about
me speak.
Bayesianism?
Let me speak. Let me speak. Because it's relevant. Well, if you knew how Bayesianism
Oh my
works,
gosh,
you
I
would
asked for the
understand why.
motivation behind P1.
I'm giving you the motivation behind
No,
P1.
you're not. You're
Let
just
me speak.
explaining
Let me speak.
Bayesianism.
Let me speak. Let me speak. Let
Holy.
me get through my sentences. Let me get through my explanation. And then if you have any questions, you can ask me after.
I'm
Okay?
familiar with Bayesianism. Just give me the motivation.
You just aren't. You just aren't. Because then, if you were familiar with the differences
Give me
between
the
subjective
motivation
and
for
objective
P1.
Bayesianism, then you would understand
I don't
why I'm
reject
bringing this up.
Bayesianism. Give me the motivation
I'm
for
not
P1.
saying that you reject Bayesianism. I'm saying
Oh
that you
my
don't
God.
properly, adequately understand it.
Okay, give me motivation for
principle.
P1.
Yeah, it's the principle.
You're just explaining Bayesianism.
Look, I'll give you a formal argument if you want.
Oh,
If
I thought that's what you were doing. Oh my God, dude! What the
no,
heck?
I wasn't giving you a
Oh my-
formal
oh my
argument
gosh.
for P1.
Can you
I was
please,
explaining
please.
why P1 is true.
Okay, just give me motivation for P1.
Yeah, the principle of indifference.
Okay, what you're just Bayesianism is the motivation for, say the premise again.
The principle of indifference.
Yeah, the principle of indifference is your motivation for, say the premise again.
The prior probability of bare non-design is not greater than the prior probability of bare design.
So that's the motivation for the premise.
The motivation for the premise is the principle of indifference.
So that's the
Are you
motivation
familiar?
for the premise?
What do you think the principle of indifference is
Yo!
trying to say?
Oh my
What do you
gosh,
think the
what do you think
principle
it
of
means for
indifference is trying
something
to
to be a
say?
motivation of a
answer
premise?
my question.
Hello?
Answer my question. Yeah, motivation.
What does it mean
is
for
just-
something to be a
it's just
motivation of
gonna
a
be
premise?
Facts it's just going to be reason that counts in favor of the premise.
Reason that counts in favor of the premise?
Yeah.
So are you... Oh my God.
Yeah, are you stumbling?
So
right now?
Bayesianism gives you
Look,
reason... So
calm
wait.
down, right?
Wait. So me using Bayesianism gives me reason that counts in favor of
No, the
psychophysical
principle-
harmony for theism?
What? No, Bayesianism is the metric
That's not
that
a
we
reason
use
for the
when
premise,
updating-
idiot.
Oh my God. What do you think the principle of indifference is?
Holy.
No, answer my question, you scumbag.
Holy,
Answer-
we're both
answer
using
me.
Bayesianism.
Answer me right now. What do you think the principle of indifference
Oh
is?
my gosh. Can
No,
you
answer
ask...
the
Wait.
question.
Stop
Answer the
changing the
question. Answer the
subject.
question. Answer
Can you
the
give me the
question. Answer the question.
motivation?
What is the principle of indifference?
Give me the motivation.
What do you think that it is? Yeah, I already gave you the motivation. Yeah, the motivation is the principle of indifference. Now
give
tell me
me
what do you
the
think
motivation
the
for the premise.
Is. I did. It's the principle of indifference. Now tell
actually,
me.
you didn't.
I did. You're not accepting the motivation because you are conceptually confused. You don't know what the
principle. So the motivation behind the premise is the principle that you're using to justify the premise.
No, it's not the print. Okay, what do you think the principle?
Oh my god, dude.
Answer my question.
Oh my gosh, can you actually address what I said? Can you give me the motivation?
Answer my question. I did.
I'm answering what you said. It's irrelevant. I'm asking for the motivation.
Tell me.
You just keep defining Bayesianism.
Tell me what the principle of indifference is.
You keep defining Bayesianism.
Can we get some sort of talking stick so this is actually a productive conversation?
I was just about to chime in. So I don't even know how we got here. It's very simple, the prompt that I have.
That's right.
It is. So I don't know why it's not a simple.
Look, could we
first, hold on. First, I need everybody's position. What are you? What do you identify as? Let's bring it back to the basics.
He's an atheist.
So you're an atheist.
Me? No, I'm not an atheist.
What are you?
I'm a theist. He's an atheist. And what we're talking about, we were talking about physicalism, and he said for the sake of conversation, I said we were. Hold on, listen. I'm tracking.
Look,
I'm keeping her up to date.
You clearly aren't tracking. Look,
bro, she said she wasn't listening to anything at all.
We're not gonna do this.
Look, I can.
I'm catching her up to the conversation.
The debate that we are currently having is psychophysical harmony evidence for theism or not evidence for theism?
No.
I'm catching her up. I'm catching her up
because I didn't get his position. What is Rancho?
I'm catching her up.
You're an atheist?
Yeah, I'm defending the position that psychophysical harmony is not evidence
I'm catching
for God.
her up on the.
He's delivering. He's saying that psychophysical harmony is evidence for God. That's the proposition that we're currently.
There's more probability for the evidence.
To me what psychophysical.
I said psychophysical harmony is more probability for the evidence.
What
I didn't
is
say that
it's evidence for theism. Oh my god!
You said what?
Talk to me, Rancho.
Okay.
What is psychophysical
harmony? So when you look at certain, physical states you have, right? Like when you put your hand on a hot stove and you kind of instinctively, reach it away. That's a physical action, right? Now think about your mental state when that happens. It's a really bad mental state, right? It's the mental state of pain.
Well, you're describing like fight or flight response.
Yeah, kind of. But think about like a different world where it's actually not like that. Think about a world where when you put your hand on a hot stove, it actually feels really good. That would be a really bad world to live in, right? So that's what the harmony is, right? The whole point is it's harmonious. There's bad stuff is correlated with a bad experience, and good stuff is correlated with a good experience. But he's saying that sort of phenomenon is more expected under the God hypothesis than the not God hypothesis.
Yeah, and then the reason we got here is because first of all, we were first talking. I asked him his worldview. He said that he was a physicalist. It was a pretty lengthy argument, not gonna lie. Essentially, the principle calls to closure entails epiphenomenalism with respect to mental states. He bunked that, so he was like, he didn't really like where that was going. So he was like, cool, let's just grant dualism. And then that is how we got here. That's what we were talking about. And then I was talking about PCC, the principle calls to closure. That is how we winded up here.
Okay, so, but that doesn't, neither of your arguments, it proves that God is real to me though. So what was your argument?
Yeah, so my argument was, given dualism, we think that the very existence of consciousness is at least some evidence for theism. Because if consciousness is ontologically distinct from any physical properties and the physical universe cannot host like consciousness only by adding it to supply like fundamental features, then it's not surprising to us that if our universe was designed by being that aims to realize value, that this world would have like some intricate arrangement of matter, and things of that nature. So it's pretty much just kind of going into just probability. It's like more that we have more probability of theism given psychophysical harmony. So the vast majority of like conceivable psychophysical mappings would be disharmonious, and the individually most intrinsically probable mappings of like mental states are disharmonious. Thus, the epistemic probability of harmony given ordinary naturalistic atheism would be extremely low, and and for the reasons that I was given kind of earlier, that unless the probability of theism is fantastically low, then the posterior probability of theism will be reasonably high when we conditionalize on psychophysical harmony.
So you're teaching me something. So what's the difference between theism and atheism?
Believing in God, not believing in God. Yes.
Okay, so who do you believe created the earth then?
You said what?
So how do you think we all got here? Like, how do you think we got here if you don't believe in God?
I'm not an atheist.
Right, but I'm saying if you don't believe in God, like whoever doesn't believe in God, how do you think we got here?
Oh, I don't know. There's probably some sort of naturalistic explanation, but that seems kind of outside the scope of the sort of argument and dispute we were having. Right?
Oh, just the host, bro. Just answer her question.
I know. I'm saying there's some sort of naturalistic explanation. I actually don't know. That's more of like a physics question to me, right?
Yeah. And that honestly, that's fair. That I mean, sure, we can agree with that. But the argument that I was arguing was more of like a Bayesian probability argument. It did get a little bit out of control. I apologize. I get a little bit excited, but
you're fine.
For the record,
I meant even to you, Rancho. I'm man enough to say I do get a little bit excitable when I have discussions. It is interesting, but did you understand the first argument that I gave against PCC?
Me,
Rancho.
Oh.
I mean, I low-key lost track around like the middle because there were 20 fucking premises. But look, even if like the entire point of me granting that was, it doesn't matter to me, right? Like I feel confident enough in defending this argument, being handicapped on the sort of fill of mind, and I just want to get clear on the argument that I'm providing for P1, which by the way isn't even that important. It's not even the most contested premise in the argument. So I just want to get through that, and then we can get through my argument, and then we can talk about the other facts.
Cool. So in your P1 was what?
The P1 was just saying that the prior probability of bare design and bare non-design are roughly equal.
And the motivation behind it is,
if the principle of indifference is true, then P1 follows from that.
I don't know who Dawn is, but she can come up.
Oh yeah. Bring up Dawn. He's my sort of sensei. Some would say. Some people would say that he kind of taught me everything I know.
Yeah. I mean, they're saying Dawn, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when people sort of think of like iconic duos, they kind of think about Naruto and Sasuke, Don Marks and Rancho.
But
Salt and
you do understand. So when you say that we have to assign equal priors to bare design and non-bare design, you're not even talking. That's not a Bayesian claim, right?
What are you talking about?
This was called.
There's looking like too much going on right now.
And there is a lot going on, but that's fine. That's fine. What I was saying is that Bayesianism doesn't require, because me and your hypothesis are competing right now, right? But it doesn't require that our hypothesis begin with equal prior probability. That's just I don't know where that comes from. The priors need to be coherent. They need to be updated, given some evidence, but I don't know where you're getting that they need to be equal.
Yeah,
what is the motivation for them being equal?
The motivation for that is subjective Bayesianism is true, subjective Bayesianism is false. Therefore, there's additional constraints other than the Kolmogorov axioms and rules about updating properly.
You say that again?
Okay, subjective Bayesianism is false, objective Bayesianism is true. Therefore, there's more constraints than just the Kolmogorov axioms and information about how you update given data.
Wait, subjective Bayesianism doesn't even require equal priors. That's a blunder.
Wait, okay. I just want to capture this for a moment. I said subjective Bayesianism is false. Okay. Objective Bayesianism is true. Therefore, there are additional constraints than just the Kolmogorov axioms and rules about updating. That's because all subjective Bayesians think are the rules which constrain sort of our rational deliberation are the Kolmogorov axioms and the rule about updating according to Bayes. Objective Bayesians think that there are more constraints in order to set rational priors. One such constraint is the principle of indifference.
Okay. So wait, can you actually explain why there's going to be, and because I'm familiar with the Kolmogorov axiom, that just means that probabilities must be between 0 and 1. But what is the argument for them being equal?
The principle of indifference. Sorry, do you know what the principle of indifference is? Because I just assumed that you knew what that was the way that you were speaking about it. But if you don't know what that is, since I'm such a nice and charitable guy, I'm happy to explain that to you. Yo, taser. Hello?
Hello?
Am I mudded?
Hmm?
Oh, hell no.
What happened?
I think he probably got like a phone call or something. I don't know. He'll probably be back.
Mm.
Yo, thank you to everyone who sent me gifts. Thank you to all the friendly faces that came out here tonight. Um, you know, thank you, Don Marks, for the 7 Bugattis and saving my entire family from like that forest fire that one time. That was really nice.
Sorry about that. Lagged out.
He's 6'4", by the way.
I'm still here.
Mm. Dang, you're not gonna thank me, Rancho?
Oh yeah,
You up?
yeah. Thank you for letting me up. W host.
Wait, so do you actually have an argument, or I'm still waiting? Because objective Bayesianism plus indifference doesn't yield equal priors unless the objective constraints are symmetric.
No. I just
an argument for that, or no?
I just asked you, do you understand what the principle of indifference is? If yes, then we can proceed from there, and I'll just need you to explain to me what you think it is. If no, tell me that, and then I can explain to you what the principle of indifference is, because I'm such a nice guy, and I'm willing to do that.
Yes, I'm familiar with the principle of indifference. Yes.
Okay, so what is the principle of indifference?
You assign equal priors only when the constraints do not distinguish the hypothesis.
Okay, so when there's no reason to favor A over B, then you
when there's no reason. So I'm asking the motivation.
Yeah, it's a no-CM inference.
You said what?
It's a no-CM inference.
Wait, I asked what's the motivation?
Yeah, the motivation is a no-CM inference.
Wait, so now it's the no-CM inference. You said that was the principle of indifference.
Wait, oh my God, this guy. Okay, you asked me why would I have reason to think that there's no substantive difference, such that the principle of indifference wouldn't hold between the bare design and bare non-design hypothesis. And the reason that I gave you
the principle of indifference. Indifference only applies when the objective constraints are symmetric, such that if the constraints are asymmetric, then obviously we're not going to have indifference here. So I don't know why you're talking about indifference, right?
Look, you're obviously lost. And since I'm such a nice guy, I'm willing to pay for your ticket on the tracking train. You first asked me, why is it the case that we should accept premise 1? The case is, if the principle of indifference is true, then we would accept premise 1. Then you asked me, why would the principle of indifference hold in this case? Which I thought to be self-evident. Then I explained, well, the principle of indifference.
That's not what I asked.
If there's no major difference between bare design and bare non-design.
That is not what I asked.
Then the way that I explained that was a no-CM inference. I don't see any sort of substantive difference between bare design and bare non-design, such that I should set my priors in a different methodology.
That's not what I asked.
Because of all of this, because of the no-CM inference, which backs this up, then the entire point goes through. Which sort of point do you contend with?
The claim that when we were talking about indifference there, because for whatever reason we were talking the principle of indifference can be across.
Yeah. Could you be a little bit more vague? That way, you have a higher probability of hitting a point, because it seems that you didn't understand any of the points which I was making.
I understand the point. I understood the point.
Specific point that
I understood the point. You made a premise. Oh my goodness! You made an inference. And then I asked you for the motivation behind the inference, and you said the motivation behind the inference was principle of indifference. And then, for whatever reason, we went down this weird meta train about subjective Bayesianism being false. I think you assumed that I was a subjective Bayesian, holding to subjective Bayesianism. Again, even in objective Bayesianism, indifference only applies when the objective constraints are symmetric. And in this case, I'm asking for the symmetry.
Look, this guy's getting beat down in the epistemic environment that I've dragged him into. He's getting lost in the jargon jungle. I'm saying right here that you have no idea what you are talking about. I never made
Cool.
half
Can
of
you
those
actually
claims.
give me the argument or no?
I never explained and said that you were a subjective Bayesian. I don't know where you got that from. And just to reiterate, I'm just going to go through the very basic line of questioning that got us here. You asked, what's the motivation for accepting my premise one? And in case you forgot, and for the 67th time, the prior probability of bare design is not greater than the prior probability of bare non-design.
I'm asking for the motivation.
Was the principle of indifference. The principle of indifference states that if there's no reason to favor, one hypothesis over the other, then we should set the priors to be equal.
I'm asking for the motivation behind that.
The reason why this holds in this case would be that there's no reason to favor either bare design or bare non-design.
That's what's in contention.
And the reason that I gave for that, the sort of inference that I gave, was a no-CM inference.
That's what's in contention.
Maybe you're conceptually confused about what a no-CM inference is.
That's what's in contention.
It's contained in the name. A no-CM inference is when you don't see a reason. Therefore, it's going to be the case that, you're justified in that belief.
That's what's in contention. I'm waiting for you to actually... Oh my gosh.
It's a no-CM inference. I've iterated this countless times. Hello?
Y'all want to see something cool? I'm double jointed.
Oh my goodness, that is what is in contention.
What is in contention?
P1, genius.
I gave you the reason for P1.
The reason is the contention.
Okay, what? So are you saying that's an
idiot?
Wait. Are you saying why are we holding to the? Are you saying why are we holding to the?
Oh my god! How about this, guys? How about this? What is P1?
I am double.
What is P1?
Look, P1 is saying that the prior probability of bare design is not greater than the prior probability of bare non-design.
Okay, so what is the motivation behind P1?
The principle of indifference.
Okay, principle of indifference only is when what?
When there's no reason to favor one hypothesis over other on the prior.
Pause. Is that what's in contention?
Are you saying that's what's in contention? Because you haven't made that point yet.
Oh my gosh. Is that what's in contention?
Wait, what was the reason that I gave for that?
What's in contention?
Yeah, that is. And what's the reason that I gave for you?
Is that what's in contention? Yes or no?
Yes. And what's the reason that I gave for you?
So you don't have a justice.
No, what's the inference that I gave you?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I gave you a no-CM inference, but
the no-CM inference does not debunk the argument. Oh my goodness.
Okay. I'll just say it seems to be the case absent defeater, and phenomenal conservatism is true. Okay, happy? Does that work?
You said what?
Phenomenal conservatism is true. It seems to be the case absent defeater.
Whoa! What's this rhetorical shift to phenomenological conservatism?
Holy blunder! You don't even know what that theory is. I'm saying phenomenal conservatism is true. It's a theory about epistemic justification.
I understand what phenomenological conservatism is. It's very similar to epistemological disjunctivism. That's completely irrelevant.
No. What is phenomenal conservatism?
Oh my goodness. What is irrelevant? He's running.
It's relevant because it's my theory of epistemic justification.
It's not even relevant.
It's my theory. It's my theory of epistemic justification.
Why are we running? Why are you talking about phenomenological conservatism?
Okay, I'm not even talking. I don't even know what that is. I'm talking about phenomenal conservatism. Get the name right.
Oh my gosh, he doesn't even know what it is.
No, I do know what the theory is. Tell me. Iterate to me what you about? What do you think?
What are you talking about?
What do you think that the theory states?
You cannot apply the principle of indifference across hypothesis spaces that lack measure.
Hypothesis spaces lack measure.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You literally said. Allow me to finish. Allow me to finish.
Want to hear this, okay? This is Jesus, and he sits right here. Now, is God real?
He doesn't believe that. No.
Who? I didn't ask he, she. What do you believe? Because I'm getting tired.
I'm a theist. He's an atheist.
We know that. What do you believe in?
I'm Christian.
How can you be Christian and theism or whatever that? This is the first day I heard of that. First of all, relax, calm down. This is the first time I heard of theism. Okay.
Huh?
Continue. I'm done. Me and Jesus
okay.
won't sit there and chill and listen to your foolishness.
Okay. Anyways.
And I've seen God.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Going back to what we were talking about. You made a claim. You said that the principle difference applies here. Right. That is what is in contention. So premise one. I want you to hold on. Premise 1 was what?
Wait, sorry, you cut out. Can you
Premise
can you
1
ask the
was
question
what?
again? Okay, so for the 67th time, premise 1 is just saying that the prior probability of bare non-design is equal to the prior probability of bare design.
Okay, what is the motivation for the premise?
Yeah, the motivation for the premise is if the principle of indifference is true and objective Bayesianism is true, and there's no reason to favor bare design to bare non-design on the prior, then it is the case that the priors would be equal.
Okay. Are you saying that it is the case?
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Okay, what's the argument for that? Go ahead.
Yeah, the argument for me being justified in believing that that's the case is if phenomenal conservatism is true, and it seems to be the case absent defeater, that...
Say that again?
If phenomenal conservatism is true, and it seems to be the case absent defeater, then it is the case that the priors will be equal. And then just modus ponens from there. Now, it seems that you're conceptually confused on what phenomenal conservatism is.
No, I'm not.
I'm such a... Okay, then tell me what you take phenomenal
conservatism. If it seems P, and you have prima facie justification believing P. I used to be a phenomenal conservativist.
No, you evidently didn't, because you can't even pronounce the name of the theory. Wait, who came up with the theory, by the way? Do you know? Yeah, nice one. Yeah, nice one.
No.
Yeah,
think of the name off the top of my head.
Look, you're LARPing, trying to be part of the Humor clan. But Michael Humor doesn't like you. He doesn't love you the way he loves me. So it's evidently true that you're not a phenomenal conservative.
Oh, wait.
So stop LARPing.
The definition correct?
Hey, but Jesus love us all, bro.
Was the definition correct or no? And also, what does that have to do with like the argument?
Because you asked me for my
Is the argument driven by intuition? Wait, yes. Wait, the argument... Wait. The argument is driven by intuition?
Yes. Hello?
Oh, explain.
You can't be justified in anything absent intuition. So therefore, our justification for every single premise...
The premise.
Yeah. The justification in that premise is going to be
the argument from psychophysical harmony is driven by intuition. What a genius. Oh my God.
Obviously, wait,
that's what we're talking about, dumbass.
You're LARPing. Wait, obviously it's going to be driven off of intuition.
He's stupid. Wait. He thinks the argument of psychophysical harmony is from intuition.
Obviously it is. Your justification in every single... Wait. What? How do you think you're justified? Wait, how do you think that you're justified in believing anything?
Is the argument from psychophysical harmony driven by intuition?
Yes. Every single fact is justified by intuition.
Oh my God.
What do you mean?
This guy thinks it's intuitive.
Look, just sort of reiterating your point and pretending to cope laugh in the corner is not optically pleasing, right?
Man, that's pretty hilarious.
What's hilarious about that?
I don't know.
You said the argument is driven by intuition.
Yeah, obviously you're justified in every single proposition due to intuition.
We're talking about the argument for psychophysical harmony.
Wait,
that's intuitive.
What's your justification?
So the argument for psychophysical harmony is driven by intuition. Wait. So the argument for psychophysical harmony.
Yes.
Okay.
What's your justification for people?
Explain. So yes. Explain.
Yeah.
So yes. So you're saying yes. Explain.
Yes, I'm saying yes. Okay. Your justification.
So explain.
One. I am explaining. So
just explain.
Right. Let me speak.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
I know you're terrified of allowing me to speak because the way that I'm rhetorically dominating you right now. So I'm just asking.
He's a dumbass. He thinks arguments driven by priors. He thinks the arguments that are driven by likelihoods.
Yeah, nice stutter. Look, you're on the stutter shuttle. Hop off. Okay.
I'm waiting for you to actually give.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Let me speak. Yeah, I'm saying
waiting.
that your justification in any premise P is ultimately going to rely on
are
some sort of
likelihoods
intuition.
The same as intuitions?
Because it is the case that every single epistemic justification is eventually going to bottom out in a basic foundation.
Are likelihoods the same as intuitions?
Is going to be an intuition. Do you have
likelihoods the same as intuitions?
No, obviously likelihoods aren't the same as intuitions. You sub 50 IQ brainlet.
So is this an argument of is this argument an argument from intuition?
Yeah.
So is this the meta? Oh my gosh. So is this an argument from intuition?
Look, stop stumbling over your words and ask me the question clearly.
Is this an argument from intuition?
When you say an argument from intuition, are you asking?
Yo, now he can't track. Is this an argument from intuition?
No, I'm trying to get clear on your.
Is this an argument from intuition?
When you say argument
is this an argument from intuition?
I don't know what that means.
Is this an argument from intuition?
I don't know what that means.
Is this an argument from intuition? Wow, we just went into 5 minutes talking about intuition. Now he doesn't know what it means. Wow, how convenient.
No, oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
1 or 2.
Look,
oh my God.
Since I'm epistemically privileged,
okay, can you actually answer the question?
You're not even in the same epistemic.
Is this an argument of intuition?
Yes, the justification of each of your
premises. So likelihood rate. So likelihood ratio is the same as something being intuitive?
No, obviously not.
Then no, it's not, dumbass.
Okay, wait. Let's just take a moment of silence. Look, let's just take stupid things
because he's an idiot.
Stupid things stomach me. Look, I'm just going to take a moment of silence.
Oh my gosh.
So
it's not an argument from intuition.
Of a point that was. Wait, how does
so
that
it's not an argument from intuition.
Wait, what's your justification?
So it's not an argument from intuition.
Answer the question.
So it's not an argument from intuition.
What's your justification?
So it's not an argument from intuition.
Look, I'll demonstrate how it's an argument from intuition.
So it's not an argument from psychophysical harmony. Go ahead.
That's not a premise, dumbass.
Oh my goodness, we're talking about psychophysical harmony. That was the first premise, dumbass.
Good job. Wait, the first premise is
the first premise was that
the first premise.
The first premise was that.
Look, what was?
I'm waiting for you to allow me to finish. The first premise was that the prior probabilities of a bare creator and non-bare creator that they're equal.
Okay, what's the sort of justification?
So I'm waiting. Wait. Is that an intuition?
No, obviously a premise can't be an intuition.
So wait. Clip that, guys. It's not an intuition, you moron.
So it's not.
So it's not an argument from intuition, dumbass.
How brutally?
How?
Yeah.
How? Do it again. He's stun locked. Idiot.
Look. Do you think that you look good in this conversation right now?
He's stun locked, guys. He knows he made a mistake. Now he's quiet.
Do you think that you look good in this conversation?
Wait, can you actually wait? Stop. Don't do the rhetoric. Stop it. Don't do it. So, is that an argument from intuition? Genius?
Yes, and here is why. The reason. Look, stop.
Guys, clip it again. Clip him contradicting himself again.
Wait, what's the contradiction?
Clip him contradicting himself again. Oh my gosh. Okay, when we say the prior probability. When we said the prior probability.
No, tell me what the contradiction is, you scumbag.
When we say prior.
You're fucking laughing.
Oh my gosh. Are you going to allow me to finish?
You dumbass.
Are you going to allow me to finish?
Tell me what the P and not
Are you going to allow me to finish?
Yeah, what's the P and not?
Are you going to allow me to finish?
Yes, I will.
Are you going to allow me to finish?
Look, you're a grown man asking another grown man to finish.
Why are you going to allow me to finish? Why are you allow me to finish?
Look, you're on your knees like a good boy asking another grown man if he can finish. Calm down.
Are you going to allow me to finish?
Pause. No,
you said that the prior probability of bare design and non-bare design are equal in Bayesianism. Given that Bayesianism is true. Is that an intuition? Is that an intuition? Is that an intuition?
Yeah, my justification is.
Is that an intuition? Is that an intuition?
Yes, my justification. Yeah, my justification.
Is that an intuition? Is that an intuition?
My justification is.
So the prior probability of bare design and non-bare design are equal in Bayesianism. That's an intuition?
No, my justification for that is an intuition.
No, it's not.
I had to repeat myself 10 times to get that.
It's not.
Your fake skull. Look, I know you're conceptually you couldn't afford a ticket for the tracking train, and now you're getting beat down. Your face down.
Oh my goodness! We're stun locked again.
You're the one that's laughing in the background.
I'm the one cope laughing. You're stun locked. Don't coffee mug on me. Don't coffee mug. Can you actually answer the question? You said the prior probability of bare design and non-bare design are equal in Bayesianism. And I asked you, is that an intuition? Is that true? Uh-oh. Oh my God. He's stun locked. Oh no. Is that true? Hello? Is that true? Rancho, where'd you go? Where'd you go?
What happened to him?
What happened to Rancho?
Hello?
Wait, can you guys not hear me?
You might be getting a phone call.
Can you guys not hear me? Hello?
Were you getting a phone call?
Can you not hear you? Your mic is off. No. Wait, we can't hear you. Your mic is off.
Wait, can you hear what I'm saying right now?
Now I can hear you.
And you're gone again.
And you're gone again. You did it again, Rancho. You did it again. Yes, we can hear you.
Does anybody else want to come up and debate?
Oh my
because
God.
they kind of having their own little debate.
We literally.
But I wanted to debate.
No. Wait. He's gonna run. Oh my God.
Have you ever debated
don't
before?
copy mug. Rancho, don't copy mug. Come back.
Hello. The host is talking.
Yes, host. Sorry.
Y'all
have
y'all debated before because y'all seem like y'all know each other.
No, I don't. I'm just no.
Okay. Well, I want to debate, and y'all not debating me.
No.
I got Jesus right next to me. Where'd he go?
So. No. Oh
what happened?
God. Yo.
He dropped. I didn't drop him.
Oh man.
Request back up.
Wait, Rancho, can you hear me?
Look.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
testing.
Look,
hello.
Big,
testing.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello. Can you not hear me?
Cool.
We can hear you. We're trolling right now.
Look. Big Yahoo might be striking me down. But
equal. Is that an intuition?
Through technological difficulties.
Is that an intuition?
No, obviously propositions aren't intuitions, dumbass.
Is that an intuition?
I just answered the question.
Wait, no. The claim. The argument.
Yeah, Coco, you my dog. I miss you.
An argument can't be an intuition.
No. The argument. We're not arguing.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you
we're
if
not
propositions.
Arguing. Yeah, we are. Arguing.
No. Don't do the meta. I didn't ask you if propositions are intuitions. I said we're talking about the content of the proposition. The prior probability of bare design and non-bare design are equal. Is that an intuition?
Wait. What
is that? We're talking about.
Not an intuition. That's a proposition.
We're talking about. Is that an intuition?
No.
Is that an intuition?
No, it's a proposition.
So wait. So the prior probability of bare design and non-bare design is not that they're equal. Is that an intuition?
No, that's a proposition.
Was that your argument?
No, a single premise is not an argument.
No. When
are you confused? Look, do you need a logic 101 lesson as well?
Wait. I understand a single premise is not an argument. So wait. I understand a single premise is not an argument. So when I asked you what was the argument, and then you went into the principle of indifference. Remember that whole long rhetoric thing, a rhetoric train, and asked you for the motivation for the premise? What was the motivation?
Yeah, the motivation.
Don't get stun locked again. We're gonna go back. No.
I'm answering your question. Hello?
Okay, do it.
You're the one. Look, because
so what was the motivation?
Because you're epistemically impoverished and epistemically poor, you can't even afford
what is
basic Wi-Fi connection.
Oh man, hello? I'm epistemically homeless. Oh.
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
Okay, look.
Because I'm tired.
Look, everyone is already saying that I won. So I'm
okay. So what was the motivation? What was the motivation?
Can we move? Wait. Can we move to like 5 minute or like 2 to 3 minute closings or something?
Okay.
Like that?
So what was the motivation? He's gonna run, guys.
Basically, what happens is
basically. So what was the motivation?
If you can't tell,
look, you can give him 3 minutes to say whatever he wants, and then I'll
what was the motivation?
For 3 minutes, and it's like talking.
You got 3 minutes.
Okay, wait. Just set a timer on top of him for 3 minutes, and then add 3 minutes.
Wait. Just
and then when he's done,
who do you want to go first? Who wants to go first?
He can go first.
Okay, so you got 3 minutes. Ready?
Sure. Again, the claim that the prior probability of bare design and non-bare design are equal, that is not an intuition because it follows necessarily from the role of some given background information that plays in a set construction of some priors that once you acknowledge the priors are defined as conditional probabilities over some given hypothesis, given some agent's total background knowledge, and once you acknowledge that our background knowledge about let's just say design or whatever. Given that, they're going to be radically asymmetric between design hypothesis and non-design hypothesis, and the asymmetry of the priors is not a matter of anything that seems or like feels or strikes us, and it's going to be a consequence of the Bayesian definition of priors. Which means that your claim that this was going to be like argument from intuition is false. So go ahead.
Okay, now you can put 3 minutes on me. Okay, so first, thank you to all the sort of friendly faces that came up here tonight. Thank you to everyone supporting me. Thank you to host, and thank you for my interlocutor for being here as well. So just to recapitulate the way that this conversation went, the first he gave a 20 plus premise argument for, some sort of fill of mind. And since I was so confident in my abilities, I just granted this entire argument and moved on to the Bayesianism point. I then gave Detroiter's objection, which is famously known, and I don't think I need to reiterate that. Then he contended to the wrong premise. He contended to premise 1 when everyone knows that the real issue is premise 2. And by the way, my motivation for premise 1 was very simple. It was objective Bayesianism is true, the principle of indifference is true, and then we apply that to the case. This case fits the point. All of that went through. And then he asked me, some sort of question about what's your justification. I gave him a no-seum inference, and then ultimately just kept pressing me on my justification. So, maybe I thought, maybe this guy wants my theory of justification. So, me being a student of Michael Huemer, I gave the case of phenomenal conservatism. If it seems to be the case that P, I'm prima facie justified in believing that P. Now, it seems to be the case that, the principle of indifference applied, so therefore I'm prima facie justified in believing this. Now, this guy pretended to LARP and be a Huemer student when obviously he clearly hasn't read Knowledge, Reality, and Value, because he talks about this in the entire point. This guy was talking about phenomenological conservatism, stumbling over his words. He had no idea what he was talking about. Now, I just wanted to explicate that it seems to be the case that the principle of indifference applies here because there's no sort of difference between them. I'm justified in believing that prima facie, and he did not provide a defeater. So therefore, my sort of theory goes through. Then this guy committed several terrible blunders and category errors and wouldn't let me, get points through, mostly because, this guy was terrified of me. He was afraid of letting me speak. He was afraid of the substance and the rhetoric, which I, destroyed him on both cases. Now, just to sort of clarify, obviously propositions can't be intuitions. Propositions are embedded inside intuitions. Intuitions are just mental appearances. I recommend that he actually go read a book for once in a while, go read Understanding Knowledge, go read Knowledge, Reality, and Value, and maybe you won't be conceptually confused. Okay, now just to sort of wrap up the rest of my point, he never contended with any of the actual premises of the argument that are disputed. He just kept asking me meaningless questions, and then, he had to call on Big Yahoo in order to get me off the app so he could, meta posture for a while. All this being said, today was a great showing. Thank you to everyone who came up. Thank you to all the gifters, and hopefully this gets posted somewhere. And hopefully my interlocutor Moses takes this on the chin, realizes, hey man, I got knocked down, but I'll get back up again. I hope he realizes that. He gets back up and he improves. He actually, goes, learns, and comes back better and stronger in the future. And I really hope that that's the case. Thank you everyone for being here. Have a good one, and I'm gonna go eat dinner now. Good stuff, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna close out too. Any final thoughts?
Again, he didn't address any of the points that I made. Again, the reason Bayesianism doesn't assign equal priors to bare design and non-bare design is that the principle of indifference only applies when the background information places the hypothesis in a state of symmetry. In which case, I asked, what was the case? What was the reason for this being the case? And then he went into some explanation for the principle of indifference being true. So I asked, why was it the case that bare design and non-bare design would have equal priors? And then we didn't actually get an answer. You went into why the principle of indifference was true. And I granted the principle of indifference was true. Because we're both using Bayesianism, which I don't think he was tracking. Hence, the whole point on reason behind psychophysical harmony for evidence of theism. So that was pretty hilarious as well. But given the fact that he didn't actually answer the question and then was stun locked several times within the conversation, dropped, and then came back and acted like he couldn't hear. I understand now that he doesn't understand the content of the conversation. So yeah.
Look, everyone's asking for a second closing, but come on, we don't need to put this poor man through that, right? He's already gotten beat down several times today. Let's let him get back up. Let's let him get the last word in. It's okay, man. Like I know that you need it. I know that you feel really bad after getting pounded on substance and rhetoric terribly all night. I know you're tired. I know it hurts, but just take some time off. Read Michael Huemer. Actually, maybe watch the replay back. And don't worry, man. You'll get him next time.
J-Rob, you got anything?
Right. And then he, on top of that, agreed with the definition that I gave for phenomenal conservatism. make things worse.
Yeah, nice.
Then
stutter,
didn't
nice
actually
stutter.
address
Nice
what was
stutter.
said.
Yeah, because you gave the proper definition.
Oh, wow,
Why would I not
stuttered.
agree to the proper definition? Yeah, you did stutter. That's correct.
Oh, so I did give the proper
Anyway.
definition. So all of the rhetoric was irrelevant, right? Got it. And then also on
This
top
guy
of that,
can't
so
even
he
track-
accepted the definition of phenomenal conservatism, and then on top of that, didn't actually address.
Wait, can you say that again? Wait, say that again. What's the name of the theory?
So he didn't actually address the substance. Phenomenal conservatism.
What's the name of the theory?
Phenomenal conservatism.
Yeah, good one.
So actually, so you didn't address the substance. Okay, right? Awesome. So he didn't address the substance, so we can just move on. Sweet.
We can just move on. All right. See you guys. Everyone, have a good one.
Thank you for coming. I followed you.
Yeah, I followed you as well, host. I'll be back someday.
Bye. J-Rob, do you have anything?
Yep, see you, host.
Yeah, I mean, all I know is nobody disproved the background, so.
Nobody disproved. Nobody proved me wrong. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know. It was fun though. It was fun. I appreciate everybody who came up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna do this more often. But follow me. Follow my boy. He. I don't know what happened to him. So where'd you go?
I thought I heard him snoring earlier.
He probably did fall asleep.